Hello world, welcome to CyberCrete, and today in this video we are going to learn the complete basics of Linux. So this video we are going to start with the very basics of Linux, and we are going to go to the intermediate level. So this video is for everyone who wants to learn Linux, either it's for interview purpose or it's for just self-learning purpose. This video is going to be helpful for everyone. And yes, if you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel, please make sure to subscribe to our channel and don't forget to press that bell icon so that you never miss any future updates. So let's get right into the Linux and learn some basics of it. The commands that we are going to see is going to be common throughout any platform that is based on Linux. Either it's Parrot operating system, Kali Linux operating system, Ubuntu, Debian. For most of the operating system, all the commands are going to be same, so no worry out there. So once you are inside your operating system, the first thing is to open up the terminal. So there are multiple of ways to open up the terminal. There is this right click open in terminal. There is this terminal icon over here. You can just find that terminal and open up the terminal. Or you can also open the terminal by pressing Ctrl Alt plus T, which works on a couple of Linux out there, but I think that it does not work in Parrot operating system. So I'll just right click here and open in terminal. So here we are inside our terminal. So once we are inside our terminal, now we can get started with learning all the commands. So the very first command that we are going to look is pwd. PWD basically stands for print working directory. So let me just zoom it a bit. Let me just zoom a bit further. Yes, so I think now the commands are clearly visible. So PWD stands for print working directory, which is just simply going to let you know that, hey, this is a directory that you are working in. So if at some point of time you don't know while browsing through the terminal where you are lost, you can just use this command to figure out that your current location is, where your current location is. And the next command that is very much used is ls command. So ls command is basically used to tell what are the files that is present inside the current directory. So ls is going to list all the files in the desktop because you are currently inside the desktop folder. So let me show you what I mean. So if I just browse here desktop, you can see that this says that we are inside our desktop. So here we are inside desktop, and we can see that there is only one file known as readme.license. So ls help us to list all the files which are present inside the current working directory. But ls can also give you the access of specifying the path. So let's say I want to look everything that is present inside the parent directory. So we can simply copy the path here, and to paste you can just right click and paste, or you can just use Ctrl Shift and V. So it is also going to paste. Now if we hit enter, we can see that here are all the files that we have inside this parent directory. So if we just go here, go to the parent directory, we can see that like these are the files that we have inside the current working directory. So this is how you list all the files, and you check like what our files are currently present there. Instead of seeing it in this graphical user interface, we can simply see it in this command line interface. So there are multiple of parameters that can be used with ls. So like ls -la to see all the file permissions that a particular file have. So here this ls just displays all the files that are not hidden, but ls-la, this says list and this says list all. So this list all is basically going to list everything even if it is hidden. So let me tell you, if here you see, we see like just this much of files, but in actually there are multiple of files that are currently hidden. So in Linux we create hidden files with this just small dot. if you add this dot in the beginning of any file name, it is going to be hidden. So let's just move on to the next command and try. So let's just move on to the second command and let's try to make a file which is hidden. I'll simply clear the screen, as we know that we are on the desktop, which we can also see here, or we can see by writing pwd command. And yes, just to clear the screen, which I just did, you can just write clear. It can clear the screen, or you can also press. So let me just do something like this. You can simply press Control L, Control plus L to clear the screen. So this is just the shortcut that you need to know. Now let's try to make directory or make file. So in Linux, in order to make a file, we can just say touch. So touch and then the name of the file. So if we say touch new file, so it is simply going to create a new text file inside our current working directory. So if I do ls now, you can see that a new file is created, but we need to create a hidden file. So if we need to create a hidden file, we can simply say touch, and we just need to put a dot in the beginning and then the file name. Let's say file hidden, and then if we do ls, we see that there is no dot file hidden present here. This is because we have created a hidden file here. So even if we go to the graphical user interface, we see that this is just a new file which we can just open and edit, but we don't see this dot file hidden. So in order to see hidden files, we do ls -la, and then here you can see that dot file hidden is present here. And what is this single dot and what is this double dot? We are going to have a look in a while. So here the first thing that it shows all the file permission, who is the owner of the file, who is the user of the file, the date and time when the files is created. So when you need to know complete detail about all the files present in your directory, then you can use ls-la. So once again, let's just clear the screen and let's move on to next command. So the next command that is very often used is make directory. So we have seen that how we can create a new file like we do on Windows or other operating system, just right click new document. So this is what we do with our touch command. So like here we can also click create new document or different things, just in the same way we did with the touch command. So touch command is just like right clicking and creating new file, but we now need to use the function of like we right click and we get create folder. So in order to create folder, or in Linux we say directory, we can just say mkdir. Mkdir stands for make directory. So we need to make directory, so we have named it mkdir. So now it is we have to basically pass what is the name of the directory that we want to create. So the command to create new document or new directory is mkdir. So this is going to create a new folder. Now we have to basically name the folder. So what should be the name of our folder? So the name of our folder can be anything that you want. Here we can just write cyber creed. So it is going to make a directory with the name of cyber creed inside our current directory. So if I press enter, here you can also see the change this reflect. We have created a directory name as cyber creed, which is completely empty, and here we have successfully created the directory. So now once you can also see with the ls command that this is directory. So the color of the directory is always same in all the different operating systems. So with the help of color also you can recognize that whether it is a file or it is a directory. So once we know how to create a directory, let's also know how to delete the directory. So just as we do with mkdir make directory, we do same to remove directory rmdir remove directory, mkdir make directory. So rmdir then just pass the name of the directory that we want to delete. So if I write cyber cyb, so if I press tab, you can see that it auto completes for us. So this is another shortcut. You just give the starting character of the file name that you want to open and then just hit tab. So tab is going to auto complete with all the possible names that we have. And once we click enter, the directory is simply gone. So we can see that here we had the cybercreate directory, but now it is completely gone, completely empty. There is no directory present. But let's try to repeat the step. Let me just create the directory. Let's create a file inside cybercreate. So just to create a file, we need touch command, and touch command, we have to say that you have to create a directory in mkdir. So in order to create a file, we need a touch command. So we need to tell touch command to create a file inside this cybercreate directory. So we can just simply say cybercreate slash, and then we can just tell the name of the file that we want to create. So let's just name it YouTube. Okay, YouTube. And now if we do ls, we won't see any file named YouTube created here, because the file is created inside this cybercreate directory. So we need to ask ls to display thing inside cybercreate slash, and then we can see that yes, there is a file named YouTube inside our cybercreate directory. So here is the file. So now if we try to remove the directory rmdir cybercreate, you can see that failed to remove cybercreate directory is not empty. So with rmdir you can just delete empty directory. You cannot delete directory that has something present inside it. So here you can clearly see remove dir will fail to delete the directory if there is anything present inside your directory. So how you can remove that? So just to remove anything or everything, you have to use rm minus rf or and then specify the thing that you want to delete. So let's say cybercreate, and then it is going to delete cybercreate with no problems. You can see it is deleted. But this rm underscore rf is one of the most deadliest command that you can use on Linux. Slash, and you tilde slash, then it is going to just destroy your complete operating system. So do not use this command, because what this command is going to do, so this tilde stands for the root directory, the directory where all the operating system basically starts. So if I let you show that, so here is the slash. So here we are saying that delete everything that is present inside here, and if you see here, here are all the important files that is needed for your operating system to run. So this command is simply going to delete everything that is present inside your root directory, and root is the main directory where all the operating system files are stored. So do not use this command, as it is one of the deadliest command of Linux. So you have to be very careful while using or removing file in Linux, because once it's gone, it's very hard to recover it. So once we have seen how to delete, create files, now let's move on and see like how we can simply check what a particular commands do. So there is a command known as man. So man stands for manual. So if you want to see the manual of, let's say, any command, let's say cd. Okay, so cd is not there, so we can just try man command for ls, and here it is going to list what is the name of the command, like ls list directory, what are the options, how to use it, like a to ignore the entries starting with dot, capital A, like everything is clearly mentioned here, because you cannot or learn Linux completely. You always have to look up to the manual, look up to the help page to learn it. So this is how you can do. Or another thing you can do is ls underscore underscore help. So this is also going to give you the help, but this is more verbose, or this is just less practical or less useful. But if you want the better graphical user interface, written everything clearly, you can use manual. But if you want to see more verbose options, you can just use dash help. So now let's try to learn one of the most useful command that you will use in Linux is cd. So cd stands for change directory. So if we see that where we are currently present, we are here in desktop. So what if I want to go to this home directory? So I will just say cd slash home. Now you see that this is already changed to home. Now if I ls, we are in our home directory where we have just a folder name as parrot. So we should do pwd to check that where we are. So where we are inside our home. So cd command change the directory to the home. It is equivalent to us clicking on home button. As we click on home, we went to home. We can simply write cd/home. We are going to go to home. And here we see that we have a folder named parrot. So we can simply change directory because we see that here is the parrot folder out here. So we can simply jump to this directory by just simply saying par and we can hit tab and it is going to autofill you for this. So now we are inside this parrot. If we see ls, here are all the files that we have. If we just open parrot, we can see that all the files are same. So cd command is very useful to change directory. So remember, let us try to go to the downloads folder now. So cd to go to downloads, just write dow, hit tab, enter. And if I do ls, nothing is present. But when I do ls_la, you see this two dots and dot. What does it mean? So double dot means going back one directory. So if we are inside our downloads folder, if we do cd dot dot, this is simply equivalent to clicking on back. As we go click back, we went to parrot. If we do the same, cd dot dot will take you one directory back. So if we do print working directory, we are inside our parrot directory. So cd double dot means going back one directory, and cd single dot means going to the current directory or going to the same directory where we are. So this dot may seem useless at the first, but as we are going to learn more commands, we are going to see the power of both this single dot and double dots. So now let's move on and see the most useful command, that is copy and paste. So if I do ls, we see that there is a file named fast inside our parrot operating system. So here is the file name fast inside our parrot operating system. What if we want to move this file or copy this file? Not move. Let's first concentrate on copy. We need to copy this fast to our downloads folder. So to copy file, we use command name as cp. We need to move it to this downloads folder. So let's keep it here so that our command changes are reflected here. Copy fast. So copy fast. Now here we specify what we have to copy, and then here we specify to where. So if I just say downloads and I hit enter, you can see that fast have been copied here and fast is also left here. Okay, no problem. So first of all, we say that which file we have to copy and where we have to copy. We were simply able to specify fast because fast was in the current directory, but now let me show you cp. We want to copy this fast from the downloads folder. So if we want to access the download folder, we have to say downloads/fast. So now here we have specified this, like this file to be copied, and now let's just paste this file inside our, let's say, pictures folder. So we can simply write pictures, and again it is going to be pasted inside our pictures folder. So this is how you copy files in Linux. First of all, you specify what files you have to copy, like from here to here. This is how the Linux works. And if you are not getting this, it is going to be more and more clear once you are doing practical with it. So once we have learned how to copy file, we just ls, there is a fast still left. Let's just go to the pictures and try to remove this file. So to remove, we know that we can simply use rm-rf and say fast, and this is going to remove the file. And now here, if we ls, there is nothing. So we need to go back with double dot, and here we can see that we have the files present inside our downloads folder too. So let's go to the downloads, and if we do ls, we see, okay, let me do ls, we see the fast present here. Now let's try to rename this file. To rename file, we use mv command. In Linux with command line, we cannot directly change, like there is no rename command to rename. We just simply move this file with different name. So this is same like fast Move fast to where? So let's just make it slow. slow. So you can see that the file have been renamed. The name of the file you want to rename and what you want it to be renamed with are the parameters that we pass. So move command is basically to move files. So it just simply moved fast into slow. So now if we want to move this slow to our, let's say, music folder, so we can just write, we can check here we have slow, so we write move, and we want to it to be moved to our music folder, so let's just open it here, slow. Now we want to it to be moved to our music folder, and if we see that our current location is inside downloads, so first we need to go one directory back, then we need to access this music folder. So in order to go one directory back, we use double dot. This is going to take us one directory back, so it is going to bring us here. Then we can write music and press enter, and as soon as we are going to press enter, slow is now moved here, and now we won't be able to see slow inside here. So move is basically able to move file from one directory to other. So I think you have got the point. We are moving slow from one directory back of the current directory, means going from downloads to parent directory again, then going to the music folder and then pasting inside that folder. So now let's have a look at the other different commands, which is echo. So echo is the command to print out anything that you want it to be printed. So you say hello, and it is simply going to echo hello. So whatever you want it to print, it is simply going to print. You may seem this code may seem a little bit trivial, or why we are even using it, but believe me, it is very much useful. So if we do, let's say, echo underscore shell, it is going to tell what shell we are currently using. So this dollar sign and this capital letter are basically environmental variables. So this is not something of basic, so we are going to skip it, but I just wanted to show you that echo command is indeed very useful. So here we are using the best terminal, best shell, that is what it is trying to refer. And then other very useful command is cat. So cat is basically responsible for displaying the contents of the file. So if we go to our one directory back and we see that, okay, so let's just go, if we just simply write cd, it is simply going to take us back to our root directory. So let me show you what it means. So let's just first browse to downloads, and here we are inside downloads. If we just write cd, it always takes us back to our home directory. So in this case, home directory is parent, in your case it may be your username. So it always takes us back to our home directory, the cd command, from wherever you are. You are on any directory on your computer system, you just want to go back to home, just press cd without any parameters, it is going to take you back to your home. So again, let's try to go back to our root directory. Let's just go back to the root directory. Okay, let's just go one more back and here we can see that there are multiple of files here. So if we do cat, let's just try to go to etc folder, and let's try to see if there is any file that we can open. So there are multiple of files here, so we can see that there is some openable file, or let me just clear the screen. There's some text file that we can view. So if we do environment and we just press enter, so I think there is no content present in this file. Let me open. Yes, there is no content present, so it was empty. Let's just check this. Okay, so there are some content present here, so we can just use cat. And there is one more very useful shortcut, is up arrow key and down arrow key. With up arrow key we can iterate over the past history of the commands, and like this we can just simply use this to go back here. So I'm just going to open up this file known as ether type. So cat etc/ethe and then just tab, so it is going to display all the contents that are present inside the file. So cat command displays all the contents of the file. This is also very useful command to know. Cat simply displays what you are going to do. After just double clicking it, you just double click, wait for this editor to open, and then you are basically able to see the file. That simple thing can be done with the cat command. Cat will just simply show you all the contents of the file. So now let's go to our, so let's just see where we are. So we are in our root directory. If you do ls, let's go to our home directory with this cd command. So here we are inside our home directory. Now let's try to create files with some content inside it. So touch simply creates an empty file, but if you want to create a file like we do in ms word or any code editor out here, so in linux we have something known as nano, nano, which is simply a text editor. So you need to specify the file that you want to create. So let's just name it test. Now it is, we are inside the text editor. This is the graph, this is a cli text editor. So here we can write anything. Here we are, there you are, and anything like that. So once you have written here, this up arrow keys tells you about controls. This means control plus G, control plus O, control plus W, control plus K. So if we want to exit, we can press control plus X, but first we need to save these changes, which means write out. So control plus O to just save the changes. It is asking for the file name that we want to write. Just press enter. It is going to save the file with name test, and then to exit you can just press control X and it is going to exit our command. So we are now out of our text editor. So if we want to see what we have written, we can use cat test, cat test, and you can see that here we are and there you are, which are the contents of the file that are present inside the test. So now once again, if we are going to look at one more important command, that is aptget. So apt is basically a package manager for Linux operating system, which is useful to download software from the internet, update your system, and much more. So this is just something like the Google Play Store that you have in your Android phone, or iStore in your Apple, or Windows Store in the Windows operating system. So here what you can do with this is you just write apt get install and any file that you want to install. So let me just install a program known as cmatrix. You have to just use underscore, just forward that, and here you see could not open lock or this type of error. So this means that you are trying to install file which you don't have the permission denied. So what you have to do, so there is another command known as sudo. Sudo simply stands for super user do. So in Linux, not everyone is allowed to do everything, and that is why Linux is secure. Only the administrator can install file, and that is why viruses cannot automatically come and install and harm up your systems. So this is the reason of Linux being the most secure operating system out there. So you need to specify sudo, then you need to write apt-get install, and the program that you want to install. You can, like here I am installing cmatrix. You can also install vlc just by writing vlc, and here you need to write the password of your operating system. So I will just simply write my password, and now here it is going to go to the internet and download it for us. So it is simply running the commands, trying to install it, scanning application. So launchers are updated. So now once everything is done, we can simply launch the program by clicking CMATR and just tap to autocomplete. And now you can see that that program is successfully installed. We can see C matrix running here. And now we want to stop anything, like you are running any command, you accidentally want to stop it. So you, in that case, press Ctrl Z and it is going to simply terminate the command for you. So we have learned a lot, but there are just few more things to go. So there is a command name as uname, that is simply going to tell the operating system that you are in, and uname dash a to tell the complete name of the operating system that you are using. Like here you are using Linux Parrot virtual machine. So here you can see that it is based on Debian 5.10.24, and all the different information. So uname just displayed the operating system, and uname dash a displayed multiple information about it. So you can just do man uname to see what all parameters that we can pass and what all they actually mean. So this is that. And then we have something known as, if we do ls, here we see that we have also file name fast. So to access this file name, if we do fast, it is going to understand that we are trying to run any command. So it is simply saying command not found. So if we want to run the file, we need to specify its path. So there we use this dot slash, which means that from current directory go to fast. And here this dot stands, so if we do ls, here was the fast. So we just simply use this dot to tell from the current directory. Dot means the current directory, go to this file. So we try to run this file, which said permission denied. So in Linux, the permission of executing is not given by default, and that is another reason of Linux being secure. So here we first need to give it permission to get executed. So to give it permission of execution, we use command known as chmod, which is change the permissions, and then we can simply say plus x, which means giving it executable permission, and we write fast. And now if we run the same command dot slash fast, so fast is just a command to test your internet speed. So this is just a program which is going to measure up your internet connection. So here we can see that now our command is working successfully. So if you want to terminate it, you can just press Ctrl Z to stop, and it will stop. So chmod, which means giving permission, have given it executable permission. So just like we can give permission, we can take back permission too. So we can just use chmod -x. So it is going to take back the executable permission. So if we again try to run the command fast, permission denied. Now we cannot run because we have revoked the permission or taken back the executable permission from it. So this is how you can basically give a command permissions as well as take permissions from them. And these are a very important thing that you should know before starting any operating system or learning Linux. So one more, there are a couple of commands left to go. So first is top. So top command is going to list all the processes that are running inside your Linux operating system. And here you see PID, which is process ID. Here you see whom is running, like root is the administrator and parent is the user. Sorry, so parent is the user. So what we need to do, here is the process ID. We can just simply, if we open Firefox, so let's wait for the Firefox to open. So we can see that Firefox have some process ID known as 40487. Just let me simply copy it, and to stop this we can just press Ctrl Z, and then there is command known as kill. So here we have this browser running, and if we use the command kill and just press the process ID that was 4087 here, it is simply going to kill up our browser. So here you see there is no browser left. So these are some of the useful commands that you are going to use throughout your internet journey. And the very last command that I would like to introduce is ping. So ping google.com. This is just simply going to ping Google and let you know that whether or not you have a stable internet connection or not. So this was the complete beginner guide for Linux operating system, and I hope that you have learned quite a bit from it. And if you did, please make sure to subscribe to this video and hit that bell icon so that you never miss any future updates. And thanks for watching. I will meet you in the next one. Till then, peace.